Joanne, I want to talk about, he said something towards the end there of his interview. He says, if you are a veteran, you can understand this. And I believe therein lies the rub. There's this whole PTSD thing. And he says, at the moment that he shot her, it was as a result of PTSD. He heard his daughter crying. His response to that was to eliminate the threat. The threat he thought at that time was the mother. That, to me, seems to be the main focus and problem at the same time for the defense. To get this jury, which I don't know how many veterans are on the jury, certainly they can't all be veterans, to get them to understand his line of thinking. And if they do, is it possible he could get off?
So I think the first thing is, right, was there this imminent threat, and would a reasonable person in the same situation have perceived this threat? So, you know, we're not talking about a veteran with PTSD. We're talking about a reasonable person in this situation. I do think it's relevant, and, you know, I believe, like, any defense attorney in this situation would highlight the same, because maybe in this situation he has heightened perception of danger and this hypervigilance because of the training that he mentioned. And I think that we need to hear more about it to see if what he perceived could have been interpreted as some forcible act of kidnapping. But what we've heard so far is she was sitting on the couch.
And I think that we are going to, I don't think we're going to necessarily hear from him testifying, but hear more from the defense to see if they do bring that out. Really quickly, what do you think about the fact he finally got emotional? But it wasn't really emotional about saying he shot her. He was emotional for himself. And then we see in court he's been emotional listening to this.
I do think he's a dad who loves his children, and I think that's at the core of it all. I do believe he feared that his children would be taken away from him again, but does that mean that there was a real indication of this threat that a kidnapping was happening?
Yeah, this jury will have a lot. All right, Joanna Nieves, thank you so much for joining us today.